This is practice for us, practice number 7 through the postseason sessions that we're allowed to have, and today was kind of like a fast Friday for us. After having a fully padded practice yesterday, and we're going to have another fully padded practice tomorrow. That'll involve a lot of scrimmage-like plays. We're trying to get back into game mode and playing situational football, extended drives, putting ourselves in situations where we feel like we're not rusty. And I think these 7 practices have been really productive. The energy has been excellent. The want-to has been great. We've had a couple of extra young guy scrimmages as well to continue that development process. That gives us 16, underclassmen, young guy scrimmages for the year. That's a lot of plays. That's a lot of good development for those guys right there. Really important. But the focus has been on Michigan State, recognizing that they're an excellent football team, and we got to be our best to be able to have the kind of success that we want.
Is today your last practice here? Are these guys going home? What's the schedule for the holidays, and then when you meet back up down there?
We're going to practice tomorrow, or a little bit early in the morning, and then after a fully padded practice tomorrow, they're allowed to go home for the holidays, and then we're meeting at the bowl site out the 26th. And on the 26th, we'll go right to our regular Monday routine. We have a 5-day window over there, so we're going to treat it like a Monday through Saturday as opposed to a Sunday through Saturday. So the schedule will be identical to what we do here, minus the 15-minute bus ride to the practice facility.
Barrett, the new redshirt rule creates a little bit of a new roster management question. There's a couple of players you've got at 4 games. Have you decided if they're going to redshirt and not play in this game, or how are you going to handle it? Because I think like Steve Stevens, I think Birch is in that category, Addison. How do you handle those guys?
Well, Steve still has one more game to play. I have him at 3. If you have him at 4, I got to recheck it, man. That'll be a problem. Yeah. But I know Brian is at 4, Nuco. So unless we'd like to reevaluate it as this week goes on. He's really pushed himself into playing time. But at the same time, we got to be mindful of the future as it is. And at the same time, the redshirt rule is it's beneficial, but it's also a little bit of an imperfect science, because you also don't know if, all right, let's say you use it this year, but he gets hurt after game 4 next year, and he could have used. So it goes both ways, but you always want to at least have the most logical choice ready.
Follow to that being, who's your backup quarterback then, because Braxton's at 4?
Can't tell you all those answers. You got way too many good questions this early in the bowl season. Yeah, but Braxton is, he is willing to play, and Tyler's had a good couple practices as well. So that's something as we get into game week over there, we'll give all the information as it relates to it.
Is there anybody who you do not expect to make the trip to the bowl game?
Not as of right now. We're going to assess the guys that are injured to see who can actually, participate in. We don't want to leave anybody behind unless they just haven't earned it. We're very upfront. We're very confront demand operation, and to me, this is a tremendous reward for guys that have been on the scout team all year long, guys that have really worked their behinds off to be a member of this organization. So as of right now, I don't expect anybody not to make the trip.
So has Troy been practicing? Troy died?
Yeah.
Okay. We just haven't seen him, and you didn't talk the other day. So
Really? Did I miss him out there? He's been our starter for every single team period. So unless you kidnapped him, man, and took him back to Auburn or something, right? No, but yeah, he's been fine. He's been good to go. Lana is just about full go. Lana took a lot of full team reps. So you guys have asked about Andrew Johnson. Andrew Johnson has taken his first live contact reps, which was great to see. A young man that's really come off a significant injury, and through hard work and rehab, he got it done. He's a physical presence now. He's a big, strong guy. He's a load, and when he hits you, you feel it. So it's really good to see him out there. It's good to see all the injured guys bounce back the way they have. The only one that hasn't bounced back like we thought we would is Kano. Kano has still been kind of slow and getting back to where he needs to get.
Is Cam at all in that discussion of getting back on the field?
No, I thought it might be a possibility. He moved around well. He's sprinting. He's doing straight ahead stuff. He did all the Olympic stuff we did out there to warm up for our Fridays. But we're trying to be a little bit cautious to get him back a little bit too early. He does look great, and that's important because he's been through a lot. His track record so far, he's been a little bit unfortunate, but he's looking to be on course to be 100% healthy for our 4th quarter conditioning program that we started in January.
Coach, you mentioned the young guy scrimmages. Who stood out during these practices in the young guy scrimmages?
Well, one guy that stood out was DJ Johnson, which he's activated to play now, and he will play in this game. I thought it's such a benefit to actually have live reps as opposed to the scout team reps when you go to regular season play and preparation. Stephen Jones worked himself in a position where he actually started game for us this year. Thought that was huge. Alex Forsyth has made tremendous strides, and Alex Forsyth is definitely in the mix for playing time on the offensive line. Done a really good job. But Sione, Popo, Andrew Faliu, all those guys got plenty of work there, and all those guys have played at least 3 games. I know that Sione has played a little bit more than that. And also Weeby and Hukalani. I mean, both those guys end up being players in the Arizona State game, and they got, I think the total now is 320 plus live reps. That's a lot, you know. That's like having an extra, 4 to 5 football games, to their credit, and it pays off. Steve Stevens is really getting better, and it's and I think he's close to really helping us out and contributing to this football team. Khalif stands out as well. I hate to miss a guy there, but as you can see, there's a lot of guys that have really benefited from it.
Were you able to get any of your early enrollees able to come in and practice at all? Like this next signing class, these guys?
No, they're going to be joining us. They're going to be joining us in January. And then since we're a quarter system, which again I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm sorry about that. It's like we'll have 5 to 6 in January, and then we'll have another 4 to 5 in April. So some will be here for the entire off season, and some will get here practice 5 or 6 of spring ball, which is still extremely beneficial because they get to go through part of spring ball, even though they're going to be a little bit, behind. They'll be able to catch up quickly and then dive right into the second phase of the off-season program. So that's invaluable to get 11 to 12, signees here early. We had the goal to try to get 8, minimum 8, because if you have 4 on each side of the ball here, you got a chance to have a significant impact. We got 11, maybe 12, and who knows, with the second signing period, we might have some more.
How much does that impact the team? I know you just mentioned how much it impacts them individually, but
Right.
you're almost adding as many guys as you lost from a senior standpoint from this season into spring ball and what you can do with spring ball.
No, it's a huge benefit. You could still run your 1s and 2s and 3s as it goes at the same time. Just the acclimation of going to college. I mean, the academic side, coupled with the, the opportunity to get up early in the morning, work out, go to practice, just the college life, without having the rigors of the season itself, where you're traveling for games and everything. I think it's a tremendous benefit. Now, that being said, the way that we do summers now in college football, I mean, you're almost having an entire spring practice in the summer with the way the guys work themselves. But there's no other learning tool like the repetition. And what they're going to get while they're here is a lot of repetition at what they're trying to get better at their craft. So it's an incredible opportunity and advantage. And, we'd like to have the entire class here during that time. But, we're pretty happy with where we're at.
Is that something that you actively look for in a recruit when you're trying to figure out who to go after?
I think they're actively looking for it. I think prospects and parents are realizing now more than ever that and think about this, the ability to go an extra 2 quarters or an extra semester academically, wow, what a benefit, These guys can now truly graduate in 3 years, 3.5 years. And then if some of them have those NFL opportunities come up, they have a much more settled mind. They have a diploma in hand, right? They could assess their NFL stock and see where it's at. And now you can make a clear-minded, clear-headed decision. So it's valuable. And, the decision to come back and get your master's diploma, graduate studies, which, is always such a huge plus and benefit in today's, job market and whatnot. So.
Throckmorton said yesterday he's coming back to school. Just what's your thoughts on getting him back? Is that almost like one of the biggest recruiting wins of the year?
He's one of the best players in college football at his position. That when he's played 4 positions this year and grade out as high as you could possibly grade out at those positions. Off the charts smart, off the charts physical, talented. I mean, he's hard to find guys like that. So for us, yeah, that's a huge recruiting win, absolutely.
In terms of the class of 2019, we didn't go over that Wednesday, but how many guys are you thinking are left? And then what positions are your positions of focus for those remaining few guys?
I think everything's open. I think at this time of year, there are some really good football players out there. And you still want to load up more always at the big guy positions, defensive lineman. You always want more guys that can cover or whatnot. But, any great player that's a great person that could help this program and we could help them and it's a good fit, we're going to pursue.
That plays over a little bit because just how lopsided the Civil War was, but Dillon gets suspended for that first quarter and seemed very disengaged on the sideline. If the outcome was different in that game, it would have been something that a lot of us would be talking about for quite a while. Fans certainly didn't like it that day. How has he reacted and handled things in the month since?
Oh, he's done a really good job. I mean, the standards are what they are. I think, prior agreements prevent those later misunderstandings, and we just have a way of doing things, and that's something that we don't compromise. I think he's handled it well, and I think he has a clear understanding. And part of this whole college football coaching thing is about teaching, and moments like that are teaching moments for guys. And people sometimes think discipline is all about punishment and whatnot. It's not. Teaching is, and discipline is about changing a behavior for the better of the individual, of the program, of the team, and certainly that's something that we take a lot of pride in, and we're all systems go with Dylan.
Time for a couple more.
A lot of the coaches have been using the word opportunity, and even yesterday Justin said it's such an incredible opportunity to play on such a big field. But can you talk about what a win would mean, just because of your recruiting class finishing so high and kind of this program's upward trend? What a wave that would be to ride into next year.
Well, no, we look at it as, we're playing an opponent that it's such a strong and rich history of winning championships, being physical. So, and when you couple that with the fact that getting a win, and I know it's the same for both teams, is always the ultimate goal. Yeah, the importance of coming out there and playing the right kind of football, playing Oregon football, is extremely important.
Your O-line versus their D-line might be the matchup most people are looking at. How do you see your guys, and they got a bunch of all-conference guys on the other end?
That's as good of a D-line as you'll see in college football. And there's the part that stands out the most. I think people are always going to talk about how physical they are and how stout they are and how strong they are. To me, the most impressive thing is when they cycle in and rotate in their players, you do not see a drop-off. And that's a sign of a team that there's a reason they're number one in the country against the run. And it's because the defensive line, coupled with the way their linebackers play, I mean, they have a certain way of playing football. And if you get a chance, I highly advise that you'll watch that on tape, because it's as impressive as it gets. And I'm watching them against, some of the Big Ten powers at, opponent sites, and what they have done, how they've controlled the game through what they've done defensively. And it's as impressive as it gets.